So, good morning, everyone. We are here for Empowering Journeys, Rolling Towards Success. We do this interview in preparation for Gym with Tiffany Witt. I am Whitney, the Wit and Gym with Tiffany Witt. I am the founder of Services by Whitney A. Ford, as well as the Unleashed program. I'm a certified mindset coach and career coach. And I actually identify as an innovative mindset coach, where more so than just a coach, because I do things in a very innovative and interesting way. My teeter to my totter in this whole, thank you, Kathy. My teeter to my totter in this whole situation with Gym with Tiff and Wit is Tiffany Johnson. She is here in the comments. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties because of the weather, but she is here. Tiffany, say hey, let them know you're here. I did want to give you guys a brief about Tiffany and what she has to offer. Tiffany, before I add Brandon actually, Tiffany is the founder of Uniquely Made, which is a brand similar to Services by Whitney A. Ford, geared toward individuals. Just help me, Yes, you can see. Geared toward helping individuals of all walks of life, however, keying in on those like us living with challenges and celebrating the fact that we are all uniquely made, fearfully and wonderfully made. Tiffany is incorporating, merchandise with Uniquely Made to help with this commission. And Tiffany also is keying in more on her expertise, which is broad, with writing and editing. She's done a lot of editing for books and just period. She is the GOAT. So get with her even aside from this if you're looking for any help with that type of thing. What Dim with Tiff and Wit is, and the Dim and Tiff and Wit stands for Disability Employment Month, which is every October. What Tiff and I do is team up to offer our services, being with myself being a career coach and with her offering things very similar with her employment guide for 25% off to individuals who live with physical or hidden challenges. I'm inviting Brandon.
Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
She's in the comments is not letting her do like us, but she'll
Okay,
respond.
no problem.
So what I'm gonna do is just kind of ask the questions, and when we kind of do a Q&A, if we have time, Tiffany will chime in there in the comments.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
So I don't know if you got to hear the intro of why we're here and all that before technical difficulties or not.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so we can just get into question number one.
Let's do it.
So we finally met in person. We've been
Yes.
trying to get to it for
Yeah, yeah.
And we just did. So you just participated in the Unleashed programs, Unleash Your Inner Fashionista show. How was that experience, and are you excited for next year? Do you plan on joining next year?
So first of all, I want to say I'm sorry I left without saying bye. I got a phone call and I had to like go. But I'm very excited. It was a very good way for us to come together and just meet more people in our community. And I think we really, really need that. We really need to be connected. I can remember as a child not really knowing anybody that had spina bifida and kind of feeling alone. So to see us in fashion shows, to see us like, moving forward really felt great.
Same. I didn't know anyone with spina bifida for probably any of my childhood. I didn't start meeting or even coming across people with spina bifida until I was basically an adult
Yeah,
or an early adult.
I would agree.
Were you saying something?
No, I said I agree. I didn't meet anybody. So the first person that I actually met that had spina bifida, not actually, of course, going to the clinics and stuff like that, you would meet people. But the first person with spina bifida that I got to really like know and bond with was a kid named Isaiah. And I was a grown man at this point. I had to be 19, 20. And Isaiah was still in elementary school. So I kind of got to be a mentor and kind of give him some knowledge that I knew, ways to pivot by having spina or with having spina bifida.
Oh. Um, we want to get into a little bit more of that. You've consistently defied expectations with your achievements as a business owner and a foster parent, and even just in your marriage. How do you think the mindset of defying odds can be encouraged in the workplace for people with disabilities, or how people deal with or work with people with disabilities?
So we have to, on a day-to-day basis, and I think I can speak for all of us, we have to find ways to live with spina bifida and do things that are quote unquote, sorry, not normal, as far as maneuvering. Like, for example, when I get up, like, or when I'm sitting down, I have to plan my way out of something, or out of the room, just so I don't bump into anybody or I don't fall or something like that. So I have to sit there and like map out, or when I'm coming in places, sometimes I have to map out my exit. So like when I'm coming in. So I think we have unique ways of thinking. I think we just have to make it work for us. So I think the world needs to know that we are just regular people and we figure it out.
I think that point of you having to think about your route and maneuvering in spaces, I find is something people don't take into account for, because I one thing I feel like people perceive me as, and I don't know why, it can be different reasons for different people, is that maybe I'm too transparent or that I share too much, but and I do that for two, probably more than two, but two reasons that come to mind. And it's because I've found that if I'm focusing on that, because you're like me, you sometimes you use your chair, sometimes you don't.
Mhm.
And in like spaces like the show, if I was walking around, I would be probably less present because I'm trying to figure out how I'm getting around the space.
Right.
That comes off to some rude,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I'm trying to make sure, when I'm going to be tired, when I'm this. So I think that's a good point,
Yep.
because people draw the conclusion that you're rude or standoffish or whatnot when you're just trying to make you good.
I agree. I agree.
You're known for being, I feel like I'm just so close to the camera, but I got it. You're known for being outspoken and determined. How do you use your voice to advocate for better employment opportunities for people with disabilities? And what changes would you like to see in the hiring process?
So that is a loaded question. So with me being an entrepreneur, I'm kind of in a space where if y'all don't want to let us in, then we have to make our own. Um, and then on the other side, it's like, everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. So I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. That is a tough question for me to ask, but I mean to answer because I don't know. Being an entrepreneur at this point, I just feel like we got to make our own way. And when we make our own way, we have to go back and grab the other people with spina bifida is my key thing right now. So, or with disabilities, I don't want to discriminate, but I want to go back and find those guys with the young men and women with spina bifida and kind of pull them in so I can teach them what I know and teach them different ways to get money and, become their own employer because I feel like yes, I got a chance to do some things, and I wish that it was more things that I got, more opportunities that I got. I'm sorry, I'm at my daycare and someone was just walking by. Um, I, I wish I got more opportunities that I didn't get to get because I have a disability. So I do wish that, I mean, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I wish that I got more opportunities that I did not get to get, and that forced me kind of into entrepreneurship. So, um, I don't know. I wish I could just go back and or I hope that I can go back and grab some people and say, hey, this is ways to make money. This is ways to live by your own rules and not letting somebody or some job or corporation define you. Um, and say that you can't do something that you are well capable of doing.
I think you hit a lot of good points in your answer. One of the things that, because of course, with the Unleash program and the logo that you see with it, it's a Venn diagram. Tiffany saying something. I can definitely relate. With that Venn diagram of you, me, us, them, so many things bleed together just in humanity, period.
Mm-hmm.
And what you said about us, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, and 9 to 5s aren't for everybody, but feeling like when you're in a certain predicament, you got to go one route can venture into mental health.
Yes. Yes.
And with it being, not to get real deep on everyone, but with it being Suicide Prevention Month, I feel like that needs to be talked about too, because when people talk about mental health, it's just like, don't be sad, but these things like where we work, if we can work, where we live, if we can live where we need to live, affect our mental health, and they're actually part of suicide prevention.
I agree. I agree. One other key thing that I would like to add, if I can, I think that people still see us, when I say us, I mean the disabled community, as maybe back in the old days where we don't think, we don't grow to have families, we don't, um, grow to live full-blown lives, and that's not the case. I don't know if it was ever was the case, but I know it's not the case anymore. I am married. I run businesses. I actually have a life. So I think the employment opportunity should be open. I think there, so with me working on a military installation, um, I think there are some jobs, and this may be crazy or radical or whatever, but I think we should be in a position to where, let's just use the military, for example. I think we should be able to join those type of things because there are those type of employments because employers, because they have the benefits. I think that's something that we all need. I can't live on Social Security or disability or whatever, and there's no shade to anybody who can, but I can't afford to live on that. So I should be able to go sit at a desk on a government installation and have a uniform on, go there for 20 years and retire, like a normal person should. Like a normal person can, a quote unquote normal person can. I should be able to have those opportunities to have a just a regular job because I am just a regular person. Yes, I have a disability, but there is something or there is some place that they can put us that we can have those benefits as the same benefits as a normal person. I think. Sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. You're giving great answers. So, with us, going back to what I said about feeling like, because I get that a lot of like, either people are like, you're so transparent and they love it, or they're just like, you ain't got to say all that. But even with what you're saying, there's a factor of feeling like you have to, or like, because you can tell when someone doesn't believe that, like you need to convince them that you can.
Yeah.
And even that is going back into that Venn diagram of like we're African American people.
Yeah.
And there's a factor of like, well, people assume certain things about that and
Mm-hmm.
things about people with disabilities. So it's like feeling like you gotta say like, yeah, I have this degree and I have this and I do that. So you can see, oh, this person is capable.
Right. Right.
Assuming
Yeah.
that they are.
Yeah. And they already put us in a box. As soon as you walk in the door, it's like, bam, he's handicapped or she's handicapped. And like they're over there. Like they're over there, they're not normal, so haha, whatever.
And and this is why we have the conversations that we have. This is why we do them with Sip and Wit. And even with that, when you find certain resources, and it's not bad that they're there. I'm glad that they're there. But with some of them, you'll find on the surface like they're helping, but with what we're doing, we know we're in this community ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we know what it feels like.
Yeah.
When and that's no shade, and not all of them are like that. But sometimes you can find other resources that are just it's like they're pat on the back and
Yeah.
not rooted in where it should be rooted at.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to the next question. Trying to figure out if I just asked it or not. So,
Oh, it's okay. So if you ask it, I'll answer it again. Listen, I'm passionate about this. So if you ask me 3 times the same question, I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna give you 3 different answers that all connected to the same one.
all right. Your sense of humor is a big part of who you are. How can creating a positive, inclusive workplace culture where everyone feels comfortable being themselves contribute to better employment experiences for people with disabilities?
I think people just need to accept, we need to be accepted, which that means we need more exposure. That means we need more inclusiveness. Once people get out of their head that we are different people just because we walk a different way or we talk a different way or being in vision impaired or whatever our disability is. I think once people have learned to accept that we are still humans and we still want the same things that they want, then I think the workplace will be just fine.
Yeah, I don't know what's taking so long. Because these things aren't rocket science, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So, with those ideas, do you have or what are your goals for improving disability employment on a broader scale? How can business and communities work together to create more inclusive and supportive environments? Because I know you have a few ventures that you do help with those type of things with.
Um, I just say that. I'm sorry. Can you ask the question one more time?
What are your goals for improving disability employment on a broader scale?
So I just say creating my circle. So what I'm going to do is or what I've been trying to do is reach out to my friends, show them different ways that they can bring income in. Um, Me myself, I am working on something else, and I do plan on trying to employ more people with disabilities. Um, and my wife is talking. I'm sorry. Um, Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I plan on building a team, and one day my ultimate goal is to just having a network that can strictly be about individuals with disabilities and kind of doing them like they do us. I know inclusion is needed, but these people that I choose or that we choose to work with us be only the disabled community and so we can kind of give them a little what they give us.
Yeah, and see the thing people don't realize is like I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of it was talking about it from a race standpoint, but it was like the one little boy. I think they were like writing on a chalkboard or something, and then the African American little boy. I don't know if they put him on books or something, but it still wasn't even.
Hmm.
Like not as uneven,
Right.
and that's the same thing that we face living with disabilities. So when and it's the same conversation vibe,
Hmm.
conversation, but it's the same vibe. When we want to exclude and say support Black business, or when we want to do like you're saying, give them what they're giving us, but what some probably don't realize, some probably don't want to admit, is that actually evening the playing field.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I know you can't go tit for tat, but I mean, all my life, I feel like I've had to prove to employers that I can do it, and or just being excluded. And I mean, I don't want to do tit for tat or anything like that, but I think we need a community that we can fall back on and show our the future, the kids coming up, that they can live a full life having a disability and they can work a successful job, they can be married, they can have kids, they can have foster kids, or whatever the case may be, and just not be one-sided. I feel like we don't get a chance to really experience life because we are put in a box.
Yeah. And it's like the box is thought to be like good or something.
Yeah, like just be okay with disability. Just take that and be okay. And you
That's
know,
like they're giving you something like
we
you're
get
taking.
something. Yeah, yeah, we're giving you something, so just take that. It's okay. And you're not supposed to want to have kids, and you're not supposed to want to, live a life. No, no, it's okay. Just worry about not being sick.
Just take care of yourself, honey.
Yeah,
No, you don't have to have responsibilities. It's okay. I'll do it.
yeah, yeah. And people don't realize like we have been treated like that our whole life. So some people may call me a little rude. Like I kind of like am hard when people try to, it's okay or don't worry about that or are you sure you can do that? Like if I said I can do it, like at least give me an opportunity to fail so you can know that I can't do it. But if I tell you I can do it, 9 times out of 10, if I can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. And I find that I felt this way my whole life. There's this microscope of, even if I say I can do it and then I make a mistake, it's like, that's human.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, um, you may go to the grocery store and have your list and have a lot on your mind. Someone who doesn't have a disability and pick up the wrong milk. But if I do it,
Yeah.
maybe I won't be able to go to the grocery store anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So there's an actual second part to that question though. How can businesses and communities work together to create more inclusive and supportive environments? And I want you to kind of, because like I said, you have a couple of things that you do want to start doing that with. So let the people know how they can get involved and what they like to and all that.
So, um, I haven't quite uh thought about or got those in motion yet.
Okay.
Um, I do want to like say like I think we should get more active like on social media. Making our presence a little heavy because if we don't shove it in their face, then we're kind of forgotten about. And I think like a lot of us have stage fright or a lot of us. So I was doing TikTok. I was trying to do TikTok for a while, but I started to realize that people and YouTube, people don't care because it doesn't affect them. And I hate to be like, a Debbie Downer or whatever, or sound like I'm, being combative or whatever, but I feel like people don't care because it doesn't affect them.
That's
So um, I think we need to start getting on social media. I think we need to start shoving in society's face that we're here and whatever we can do to go to the next step or to actually get notoriety and get people really talking about it because I think there's other communities. I'm not going to say who I'm thinking about because I don't want it to be, confrontational or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want it to be, yes. So I think other groups of people, they force you to see it. So if they force you to see it, if we start forcing people to see us every day, or in movies, we start seeing people, forcing people to see us, then we'll get more notoriety in our vision of us becoming a little more, the world being a little more handicap accessible and diverse. Diverse. It'll happen. I think we just need to keep striving, and you keep doing what you're doing, and we get this on a bigger scale, so we can, we get the notoriety that we need.
for sure. So, last question before we answer some of the people's questions that are watching is, do you have any upcoming events? How can people connect with you? I know next month is Spina Bifida Awareness Month. Do you have anything that you want to have people look forward to or anything like that?
My mixtape coming out? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, like I said, I am on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I want to get my numbers up on those, so like I said, I can start shoving into these people's face. Um, I on TikTok, I am walking like Uncle Brandon.
Walk like Uncle Brandon.
Walk like Uncle Brandon. On Facebook, I'm Brandon Thomas. On Instagram, I am 1B Thomas. And we have the open house for the daycare that we own on October 19th. I think it will be from 3 to 5 or something like that, 3 to 5.
Tell us about the daycare.
So, my beautiful wife actually runs the daycare. We got into it because so when I met my wife, I was a foster parent for about 4 or 5 years before I met my wife, and we always just like wanted to give back. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we always wanted to give back. We always wanted to help. That's one thing that we had in common when we first met. And my mom is actually a daycare owner, and she was like, well, this is perfect for y'all because this is what y'all do. And we kind of like, I wanted to chase the corporate dream. I wanted to be, I wanted to retire, corporate man. Ooh. And when I realized that, you know what, they're kind of stealing this dream away from me. I'm like, you know what? We started Airbnb, and we have recently closed our Airbnbs, but we took the money from that, and we opened a daycare. My mom pushed us to do it, and that's what we did.
And you said you guys are having an open house for the daycare.
Yes, ma'am. October 19th. And we are Little Genius Learning Academy. And we located 3700 Suite Inn, Blue Spring Road. In I'm sorry?
In Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama.
The open house is for people who are interested in having their children attend your daycare, right?
Yes, ma'am. Open to the community. They can come through and see. We'll have trunk or treat going on. And we'll give tours and let parents be able to sign up.
Y'all get your nieces and nephews and children signed up. And that's even a way to expose people too, because it's like those children are getting to see things firsthand at a young age. I know when I did Miss Wheelchair, and I just did something as simple as going to a library and reading to the kids, and they were able to be like, oh, and ask me questions like, what's that? Yeah. And I always try to discourage parents from punishing their children for asking me questions. I don't know if they think that it's embarrassing or what have you, but children learning that other people that are different are okay at a young age is powerful.
Yeah.
So I think that them being exposed to that, even that, people think of advocacy as, and don't get me wrong, it does have a place that's like preachy or have a dialogue, but similar to what we do with the Unleashed program and not always having it be that way, it can be as simple as being in the same room with someone and even them learning from Mr. Brandon.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do we have some questions in the comments before we wrap things up, you guys? I've seen y'all writing a couple of different things. Let's see. Nick said, I agree. Now that I have my own family, SSI is not enough. Kathy said, I don't like the term handicap. Jamal Kidd said, you most definitely rude, but I got you.
That's my boy.
Do y'all have anything else y'all want to ask questions to myself or to Brandon?
I want to ask you a question, Whitney.
Okay.
So, do you have anything coming up?
I do. I actually almost forgot. I said I was gonna make an announcement. Of course, the fashion show is coming back next year. I'm also looking for speakers. I actually want you and your wife.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
But another this advocacy that we're doing with the Unleashed program would go into dating and dating individuals who have disabilities, and yeah, just making it a normal conversation. We have all these podcasts about men and women and the dynamic, but you don't see a lot of what it's like from our perspective really anywhere.
Because it doesn't affect them.
Exactly. So we do want to put it in their faces. I do have a course called The Art of Pivoting Heartbreak Edition, which was born out of some experiences that I shared with you.
Come in. I'm sorry.
Not acknowledging it firstly myself, and society account for representation and something leading you to address yourself. So we want to do that, and I would love to have that perspective. We're going to have women talking about their perspective and men talking about their perspective. And being that you and your wife have a story to tell, I would love to have you guys be a part of that.
Anytime. We are here. I actually have some other people that I could bring to if you would like. They have spina bifida as well, and one is currently. Yes, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely my way. And when I did the intro, I did talk about that I am a mindset coach, that I do career coaching as well. I'm a certified resume writer, and September is Renew Your Resume Month. If y'all let me know in the chat if any of you guys are needing some updates to your resume or know someone who needs an update to the resume. I was going to do a month-long sale, but I'm going to choose somebody to give 30% off for a resume writing service.
So how do I put my name in a hat?
You just did.
Cool. I am currently going back to work because I'm sorry, I'm just going on longer, but I'm currently going back to work because I have another investment idea, so I have to get back to work.
You have to get back to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Tiffany said all the questions I had were answered. Love that. So, and Kathy said me. So you between you and Kathy, nobody else needs anything. Nobody else needs interview prep. I don't just write resumes. I do interview prep. I help with cover letters.
I don't have a cover letter, so I probably need that too.
Okay, well, we can talk about. I can send you. I think the link is in my bio.
Okay, I'll go check it out.
I'll. I might do you and Katie since it's just two of y'all. That's what I'll do. But is that your only question? Did I leave something out? I'm notorious for that. A lot of what I'm doing with the Unleash program is just healing myself too, you know.
That's a big part of it.
What I realize is like what I need, if I need it, then some other people need it,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know. I may need help with a cover letter just in case, maybe in the future. Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
um,
Yes, ma'am. But thank you for your time. I love what you're doing. I love what you and Tiffany are doing. Continue to do this. This is great. Um, I think we need this, and I am here for whatever is next. You can always call or text me, and I'm down to do whatever.
and guys, if you want to just look at what we're offering this October, the website to the Dim with Tiff and Wit offer is in the pinned comment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being part of our Empowering Journeys interview today, Brandon. And we
See you later. Bye, Tiffany.